She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review for Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 2, episode 8. I don't know if it's because the season is progressing and maybe we almost to the end. I think Growing Up Hip Hop only does like 10 episodes. Honestly, this is episode 8. I'm bored. You know, like, you feel like nothing really happened, but stuff happened and you really confused. You know, I still feel like they're trying to, hoodwink and bamboozle us into, having Johnny as a part of the cast. It feels like they kind of just weaning Brandon out of the whole situation. And, it's going to go from Brandon being under Deb or Deb being with Brandon to Johnny being with Deb and Johnny being a new cast member. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know if I'm right or not. It's just my opinion. We see the beginning starts off with Bow Wow and Johnny, and they sitting around in the parking lot talking. And for the life of me, I still can't figure out why they having a conversation. Because I still don't understand why Johnny insists on befriending Bow Wow. I mean, at this point, you begging a person to be your friend, and I just don't understand it. And it's like, yeah, I just, I don't know why you call me a bitch. I drink a lot of water, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I be sometimes. I don't know why you call me a bitch. I was out of line for breaking stuff. And I just felt like it was a waste of a conversation, especially since Bow Wow was just sitting there listening like a deaf mute. He was just like, it was what it was. I mean, he wasn't giving her anything, and I'm like, and she's still talking like it. It was a one-sided conversation. He let her talk, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of it. The most that he said was, we can be cool. I'm sorry for calling you a bitch, but that's about it. I was like, what's the point of the conversation? I really feel like they trying to push Johnny as a cast member because there's no other reason for her to be on here. And I feel like because the show doesn't have a lot of drama like it did last season with the whole Brandon and Reginae situation, I don't know if they're trying to have a Johnny Bow situation. That's where the beef come in. That's supposed to be the juicy, salacious stuff. But I'm really bored because I'm like, when in 2018, why is a bitch begging a dude to be her friend? Like, I don't, I really don't get it. And that was basically it. They supposedly cool. But she can't come back to the studio no more. And I don't blame her for that because she be breaking stuff. And I'm just like, okay, but yeah, I just don't get it. I don't. And then I can't even have a conversation with a person who's not, invested in the conversation. And he wasn't even giving her any eye contact. He was just standing there like, okay, I'm gonna let her talk. I ain't gonna say much, and we're gonna see what happens from there. And then she just kept talking. I'm like, I just want to, I want to make sure we cool. And I was wrong for turning up. And so we cool now. Yeah, we cool. All right. And then even at the end when he hugged her, it was funny because he hugged her with one hand in his pocket, as if like, I can't give her two hands. If I give her a two-handed hug, she gonna think we're gonna get married. So let me give her this one-handed hug. The other hand gonna be in his pocket, and that way she can't ever be like, well, me and Bob was hugged up. No, we weren't hugged up. We, it was like shoulder to shoulder, like, what I'm saying, like my homeboy. But that's really it. He treated like a homeboy, so it was what it was. I say that a lot. I think somebody said in my other video, they was like, I'm gonna take a drink every time Jaylee say it was what it was, or it is what it is. I mean, that's every time I say either it was what it was or it is what it is, go ahead and take a drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get me some wine on my next video, and every time I say it, I'm gonna take a drink too. That's gonna be my new gang with y'all. So the next thing we see is Jana. Jana's going to get her breast surgery. She's nervous. Amy's with her. Her father isn't there just yet. And she needs this breast reduction, as she keeps saying, because her breasts are very heavy and, you know, kind of getting on her nerve and everything. And she nervous as hell. She crying. You know, she, well, my daddy at, my daddy ain't here. He better be here. You know, they take her in the back. Put in her gown. She crying even more. They're trying to calm her down. She just nervous. You know, she's just basically nervous. Her dad does get there, so he come walking in like, you know, of course I have to be here. She's my daughter. You know, what kind of father would I be if I didn't come? You know, God forbid if something happens and then I'm not here. He need to stop speaking stuff into existence. Just say that she's going to be okay. Gonna leave it at that. Like, don't say if something happened, I'm going to be here. Just say she's going to be fine in the name of Jesus and leave it at that. So Amy was being pretty attentive. That was really cool. You know, her and Amy, season 1, it was, I thought it was a done deal. What it was. That'll be 2 drinks. So the doctor come in. Her daddy say, you know what? She don't want to have the surgery. And I said, what the hell when did she say that? And then he was like, you don't want to have the surgery? And she's like, no, he doesn't want me to have the surgery. I want to have the surgery, so it's fine. The doctor just basically reassures her and her father that the surgery is routine. You know, they do them all the time. You know, she's going to be fine. And, you know, they just kind of do the whole build her confidence up because she was very, very nervous. So she does have the surgery. And it wasn't like Dr. Miami. Then they didn't show nothing. They had to blur it all out when it was cutting all up into her. But the doctor did say like she was an H. Her breast was very heavy. How they could see the dents in her shoulders from her bra straps because her breasts are so heavy. And how she wanted to be like a comfortable D breast. She probably could have won a full C. Well, no, she goes like a small D. Yeah, small D, full C. Yeah. Just so that she can be comfortable. Like, she don't have to have little boob. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that is proportionate to her body. So, you know, after surgery, of course, she's loopy. Because after surgery, with them drugs they had you on, you be just flat as a damn kite. Flat, Lord Jesus, high as a damn kite. She's like, I hate you guys. Why did you let me do this? Oh my God, I can't wake up. It was so, when she kept saying, I can't wake up. I'm like, but you already awoke. But of course she was just loopy with her. So they let her sleep it off. And they showed her at home. You know, Amy was there taking care of her like a good girlfriend should. You know what I'm saying? When your person is on the mend, you're supposed to be there to mend them. But I had an ex who was in the hospital because he had a boil on his body part. I ain't gonna say what body part it was. And he was oh my God, he was such a baby. And when he came home from the hospital, I had to tend to him. Oh my God, I was just like, oh my God, men are such babies when they're sick or when they have any kind of pain. But it was cool to see Amy just be attentive to her, you know, bring her some water, you know, giving her pills, you know, making sure that she's not sleeping on her side where she's not supposed to, because that can smush the boobs, that can mess up can mess up the whatever you get done. I did not mean to shake my boobs. That was just horrible, people. It's late. It's like, what time is it? It's 1:30 in the morning and I'm very tired. So yeah, but it was cool seeing that and just their interaction a little bit more. I think the show could have been a little bit more interesting if we seen more of them interacting and not just interacting about her breast reduction. So, you know, but it was what it was. So yeah, she did the surgery. She came out good and we'll see her boobs later. But I knew she had the surgery because at one point in her confessional look, sometimes she would show her breasts. I mean, not her breasts. Sometimes the confessional look was her, you know, from head to like right below the boobs. And then they would have, some of them was just her from the neck up. So I'm like, she must have had the surgery and they did some confessional looks after the surgery, but they didn't want to show her boobs because then they'd be like, okay, you know, joke's on you. But when they show her talking after the surgery on here, her boobs still look big. They didn't look as big as they did before, and I'm like, maybe they just still swollen, but her boobs still looked huge. Like she could have went down to cup size and still had big boobs. But you know, it was what it was. We see how we see how Brandon has a friend in town who was supposedly a therapist. And if he's a therapist, what the fuck she been at all this goddamn time? Why she ain't been theraping him? That's not a word. I know I didn't say that right. I was trying to be funny. But yeah, she should have been his therapist a long time ago because he needs Jesus. Because his ass is just, his antics is just too much. And they're talking or whatever, and Brandon was trying to make it seem as if the interview that he did, that they kept talking about how people was kind of blown out of proportion, and was he was making it seem as if people was misunderstanding what he said. Brandon was, as people do, he was backpedaling, pussy popping, and because he said certain stuff in that interview, and he was trying to make it seem like, well, no, they asked me some questions, and I answered them, and when I said, you know, this and this and this, I wasn't. You a bold-faced lie, bruh. You a bold-faced ass lie. We know that they showed the part that they're showing on TV, at least. I can't say because I haven't seen the whole video in full. But when they show you talking, you're talking about stuff. And you're clearly saying things that could have been taken the wrong way because you fucking said them. I think Brandon said things in a way that he didn't think they would get as upset as they did, because Brandon does things he do at times has said things to make people think that he's better than them. I could have helped your father's career. You don't even have your own career. You know what I'm saying? So it's that kind of little stuff that he would do. And I'm like, you can't fool me, bruh. No one is misunderstanding or there's no misrepresentation of what you said in the interview compared to what you meant to say. You said what you say what you mean what you say, and stand firm in what you say. He ain't doing that. He trying to make him like, oh my God, I can't believe they're thinking this and thinking that. And then the friends said, we know maybe they just don't understand you. You know, you're not as open to them. They may not know you as well. You know, maybe you should talk to them and kind of just open up a little bit. And I feel like Brandon has had such a holier than thou mindset since the beginning. I'm thinking he just not realizing I ain't gonna get too far with that mindset, because now no one wants to shoot scenes with me. So I have to kind of tuck my tail between my legs and kind of go back and like, well, no, that's not what I meant, you know, and try to get on people's good graces. Because my thing is, on certain shows, especially shows like this, if you don't have anyone to shoot with, you can't be on the show. So if Deb ain't shooting with you, if your cousin Ayana not shooting with you, you don't hang out with Bow Wow, you no longer is doing vocal stuff for Johnny, you don't work with Zanique, and you originally damn sure don't get along, you don't have anything, you're not on the show because you don't shoot with anyone, and the couple scenes that you're doing by yourself, no one cares, like, because no one kind of takes you serious because how you treated other people. So I think he's trying to realize, wait a minute, I fucked up, I need to come back and revamp some stuff and try to do something different, and it ain't working. So he brings up too how him and Deb was at odds and how Deb ain't talked to him. Well, it's probably because of the same goddamn interview. So, you know, you made this bed, you got a lot in it. So she just tells him to, see, that's why I don't have my hair down, because when I do, it makes me hot. So I just cut my fan off. So my hair blows, don't judge me. But yeah, plus all my lights on, it gets hot in here sometimes. Anywho, so yeah, he's saying how he has to talk to Deb, and so the friend like, you know, reach out to, you know, don't stop reaching out to her. And he says, you know, me and her, we're very opinionated. And she says, you know, you can't always say exactly what's on your mind to just anybody, and you can't. And that was Brandon's problem. He would consistently just say whatever and be like, well, this how I feel, and you got to just take it. And people was like, I don't want to take it no more. So, you know, he haven't just kind of come to grips with what he did. We see Brat talk. The Brat is probably the only entertaining, like really entertaining person on here. Even though she always extra. And you know what? I giggle and chuckle when she bring up on stuff. So she's talking to Bob, basically trying to figure out what happened between him and Johnny at the studio. And honey, she was talking so goddamn on fast, I couldn't even think of what she was saying. Just, why was she here? What did she break? What was going on? Why you have it? And he like, man, wait, you know, hold on, you know, one like that. You know, I didn't bring her here. I didn't invite her here. And he didn't. It was all Deb. And Deb should have told Brat that, and she should have said, look, Bob didn't know she was coming, you know what I'm saying? I did surprise him with her. He didn't know that, because I think Brat was under the impression that Bob at the studio, and he like, well, let me invite her here to have a conversation, and whatever happens, and that's technically not what he did. So, you know, when he like, well, nah, you know, I didn't invite her here, you know, Deb brought her here, I didn't know she was coming, I didn't invite that girl here, and, you know, when she was flipping out, like, I didn't make her, and she's like, why didn't you stop her from breaking stuff? He like, I wasn't even in the same room, and my thing is, he not a superhero, you know what I'm saying? He can't be everywhere at the same time, like, technically what Johnny did wasn't his fault. He couldn't even have stopped what she did because it happened so fast. So it was just a bunch of fuckery and bullshit. And, you know, she just brings up how now JD is back in town, you know, how he gonna feel about the statue being broken. And he like, well, I already got it fixed, so it's fine. So he didn't pay somebody to come fix the dang on statue, so JD wouldn't get pissed. So now she's like, well, he back in town, so we gonna have to hear your music, so, you know, let's get ready for that. And he like, well, all right, I'm ready for y'all to hear it. I got these hits I've been working on. I don't know if he got no damn hits he been working on, but it is what it is. So, but because then he was in the room with the producer and he's saying, yeah, the album's finished. We've been working all this time. It's finished. Well, it's not mixed though. And JD might have to put, I'm looking like, well, is you finished or is you done? Like, which one is it? Like, how can it be done when it's not finished and it's not finished and it's not done? What are you doing? So, but I'm like, I don't know what Bow Wow been doing, because it's March and I ain't heard no goddamn single. So, you know, it was what it is. You know what I mean? We see Deb taking Johnny to do an interview. Again, I'm telling y'all, I think they trying to replace Brandon with Johnny. Because why is Johnny in every scene? Because my thing is, the name of the show is called Growing Up Hip Hop. And my thing is, it's supposed to be about the children of celebrities. So why is Deb doing solo scenes with Johnny? Why is Johnny having her own confessional looks? Because they're trying to put Johnny on the show. It's that simple. And I'm like, I don't know if Johnny grew up in hip hop. I mean, I know she's a stripper. I know she was a stripper. And she's now trying to do music. But I'm like, Deb can't claim Johnny as her damn goddaughter. You know what I'm saying? We get that Brandon was on the show because Deb claimed him as her son, her godson, for 4 years. But I'm like, what is going to be Johnny? Because my thing is, if Brandon is gone, I just don't know. You know, and even the DJ at the radio station was saying, like, you know, why Johnny? You know, why you always, as in Deb, why do you always work with these, did he say difficult, troubled, difficult clients? He said difficult. And she said, well, I feel like I'm just built to deal with that. And I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think she take what she can get, and sometimes the thing that she get, they just some troubled ass crazy people. My thing is, Johnny has been known to be crazy, I won't say use the word crazy, difficult for years. And even though she is talented, I think she could have took a little bit more time calming herself down. Because my thing is, once you calm yourself down, people are more likely to take you serious. Sometimes people don't want to hear, you know, crazy stuff and loud talking and yelling and arguing and all that foolishness, because it's just too much. They want to still hear the talented person, but not be having to get a damn headache from listening to them. So, you know, Johnny's saying how she's changed her ways, how she just took her music serious, and she's no longer acting crazy and acting out and all that foolishness. And he then bring up, you know, well, I saw on Zanique's Snapchat that you was at Bow Wow or JD's studio up there fight. What happened with that? And I'm like, see, Snapchat is a snitch. And she said, well, no, it's a misunderstanding. She kind of just downplayed or whatever. But again, she on the radio with Dad. They did play her little song. The song, it sound cool. It sound familiar, like some. I think it remind me of Wale's song. Is it called Bad? The song, what's the name of it? I'm gonna think about it. It's a Wale song. Is it bad? That song. Y'all know the song. That song is what it reminds me of in a way. So, you know, who knows if it's a playoff or anything else. But, you know, she said it was a misunderstanding. She trying to make herself better. So we're gonna let her make herself better, and hopefully she is successful in her endeavors. You know, Brandon and Deb meet up. Baby, Deb is over some stuff, okay? Deb came in like, hello, sat down, and then she was like, look, you know, I'm kind of just, because they spoke, you know, it was niceties in it, but then she kind of got to the point saying, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, I don't want to really be involved in a lot of drama stuff. It's just a little bit difficult and crazy. She said, so, you know, I think it's about time that you just need to move out, you know, with the house. Spread your wings and fly, baby bird. You know, and when things happen, you need to start picking yourself up yourself. You have to start relying on yourself and not on others, mainly herself. I think Deb should have been did that. I think last season when her and him kept bumping heads, she could have did that. She could have did that. I think when Brandon came in and said that he was opening his own record label, she could have did that. I think Deb, as she said in this particular episode, that she has enabled him and babied him and not allow him to be able to go out on his own. And I think if Deb would not have said to him, to do these things, Brandon would have stayed up in Deb's under her dang on titty and then been being breastfed for the rest of his dang on life. And when she was saying like, you need to get out on your own, he started crying. Not big bad Brandon. Not big bad Brandon. I mean, and I get everyone has insecurities and things that happen in their life, and sometimes they have that breakup moment where they show people that they're not as tough as they seem to be. Because me, as nice as I am, I'm very sensitive too sometimes. But at the same time, I ain't out here cussing and fussing every dang on day with people. I'm seeing how he was doing with everyone else and what he put forth. And it's just weird or different to see him having this, for lack of a better word, vulnerability in this scene, and he's like, it's just so much people don't know. And my father, how his father beat him when he was little all the time, how he did not feel loved, and the best thing that happened to him was, Deb taking him in. In the earlier scene, he had said how Deb took him in while he was homeless. He didn't have anywhere to go, and Deb took him into her home. And for that, he'll always love her. But I feel like this. I feel like if you knew you had nothing and this person came in and they helped you, you did what you never are supposed to. You bit the hand that fed you. You kept pushing and pushing and pushing and doing things and saying things that is not being as appreciative as you should. I think her turning point was when he said he don't have anything to prove to Deb. I think when he said that offended her. And it could be because she felt like I did so much for him. Why would he say that he don't have anything to prove to me when he really ain't done nothing himself? I think that's what pushed her over the edge to say, okay, well, go out on your own and fend for yourself. And what I did like is that even after he said, these things, she didn't give in and said, well, you know what? All right, you don't have to move out. She still said, I've been enabling you, I've been babying you, and I'm not going to do that anymore. It's time for you to just grow up, live your truth, and get out of this baby stage. Now, when she said live your truth, I think the other friend had said something to that effect. I'm wondering if they trying to tell Brandon to admit that he's gay. Because I think he is gay. I think that's my personal opinion. Because when the friend was saying to him, are you dating anyone? And he said, well, no, the people who hit me up, they not worth my time. And I feel like when anyone is talking about dating someone and they don't say, well, when she hit me up, or when women hit me up, or when men hit me up, when they avoid giving a gender, they're either, I just assume, they're either gay or they're bisexual. And again, ain't nothing wrong with that. Love who you love, it is what it is. But I'm like, I wonder if they trying to say, because you kind of live in this not 100% factual life, you're not fully living your truth. It's actually making you be this mean, rude person, and people ain't fucking with you. And once you get out on your own and you stop being baby and you start living your truth, you can be a better person overall. And I mean, him crying, I honestly did not feel sorry for him. When he brought up how his father beat him, that, was like, oh, that's sad. But I'm a person where I feel like you can't let unfortunate incidents from your past be the reason why be the reason that you act fucked up to other people. I said that when I was talking about Sky from Black King Crew. Hell, I've said it about other things too. So I feel like, him saying what he was saying, I'm like, is he trying to pull a sympathy vote? You know what I'm saying? But I think it's because he realized, Deb didn't have me here. I kind of had her wrapped around my finger. Whatever I did, she didn't care. And now she not really caring. So do I have to now be vulnerable to make her feel bad for me and then not have to leave out? No, get your ass on up out. And she said, you got to work a record label. You need to be on your own. And he's a grown ass man. And, I'm happy she finally did it. I just hope she stick to it. Let's just say that. So, it was what it was. The final scene that we see in this particular episode, JD, the Brat, Bow, and that producer dude, was listening to the music. But I'm like, one, they listen to one song. Two, the one song they listen to is the same song he been playing this whole season. And I'm like, he was talking as if he was in the studio and he got 50 songs to hear and they all bangers. You played one song that I think is a cool song, you know what I'm saying? JD then said, I don't think that's it. He's like, I don't think he said it's a cool song. He said he doesn't think it's a single. I agree. I think a single has to be something that you can play on the radio, not necessarily in the club or at a titty bar. You know what I'm saying? The song he was cussing and fussing so much, they gonna have to bleep it so much it won't be a radio hit. And I think when JD said that's not a single, he meant we can't get this played on the radio in its entirety. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but if you're not in the club, it ain't gonna bounce. Like people not gonna really want to listen to it like that or whatever. And I agree. I think Bow Wow, it's just high. And sometimes when you high, everything sound good. You know what I'm saying? You can just be like, oh my God, I want some Fruit Loops and some Rolos and a Swiss roll and some orange juice. You be like, what the fuck do you want? It's because you high, so everything sound good. You know, if you high, you doing music, sometimes it don't go hand in hand. So when JD said like he didn't think the music was a single, Bow looking like, is this motherfucker crazy? And my thing is, I trust JD's opinion about songs, because I do think most songs that have came out as a single from people on So Def or from people who he associated with, that it was always a hit. Now he might have had some misses, you know, here and there over the years, but for the most part, JD as a producer, his reputation is impeccable. So I think for Bow Wow to question it shows Bow Wow just high. But yeah, and then that's kind of how the episode went off. We don't see anything else besides Bow Wow being shocked. And I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't feel like reviewing Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder. I was going to review Atlanta. I'm going to probably do all that stuff tomorrow on Friday because I'm just, I need a break. But I hope you guys enjoyed this particular review. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's. See, I'm all tongue tied. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.